If this episode resonated, please share it with another mum who might need it. Follow us on socials at Burnout Mamas.
Check out our journey and we will help you to reconnect with yourself again. Please subscribe and download to all our episodes. It helps us a ton and keeps this podcast going.
Thanks.
Bye.
Hi.
Hello.
Happy Friday. We are Burnout Mamas. And today we are joined by Louise Clay, a birthkeeper and former midwife supporting women through pregnancy, birth and the postpartum period. On Burnout Mamas, we talk a lot about the realities of modern motherhood, burnout, identity shifts and the pressures mums face. So today we're going right back to the beginning of that journey, birth and the fourth trimester, and the things women are rarely prepared for. We have Louise here today. Hi,
Hello,
Louise.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Good.
Thank you for coming on.
In fact, Louise, this is the perfect time to have you on because I feel like I'm your prime target. Remember, because I've just had a baby who's now 5 months, so I'm in the trenches a little bit. I'm in that postpartum period, and I was just saying to Paisley this morning, I was like, I can't shift this sore throat I've had. I really don't want to take antibiotics. I really want to fight it naturally, and yeah, I feel like my hair's all falling out, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like going through that stage where you're like, oh gosh, right, I'm now suffering a little bit because
everything.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about your journey, Louise, and how you got into what you're doing?
Yeah, so I trained to be a midwife and I qualified in 2021, and midwifery wasn't really for me in the end. I set out with this idea that I was going to be supporting women, providing individualised care, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. A lot of it was policies and procedures, a lot that I didn't really necessarily agree with. A lot of women that go through the system were experiencing a lot of trauma, and I wanted to provide that individualised care so that women could have a better experience. And I just felt I couldn't do that within the system just because of the managers and the hierarchy of all the staff and my seniors. And so I found a company called When Push Comes to Shove, who were doing doula training, birthkeeper training, that focuses more on the holistic side of supporting women through pregnancy, birth and postnatally. And I trained with them and I've never looked back since. So now I work privately supporting women through pregnancy, birth and postnatally, and without the policies and procedures, without the system, but I kind of guide them through the system. So I have people that have got full care from midwives and doctors, but I also have people that decide that they want to have a birthkeeper, but also sort of dip their toe in the system. So go to some appointments, but not all of them. I also have people on the other side of it who decide to free birth. So people that don't want to have any kind of medical support, if they don't need to, if they're low risk, then they may decide that they want to have a birth without any medical professionals present as well. So a full spectrum of clients, support people during their hospital birth if they choose to go to hospital, people that want to have their babies at home, and like I said, free birth as well. So
amazing.
Was that what you had? But they were linked to the NHS, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I was going to have a home birth. My husband freaked out and he really wanted me to have it in hospital. I really wanted to have a home birth.
Yeah.
And when I got to hospital, I was like, I wish I had a home birth. And I was like, when you say to him, and he just would freak out. Like he's not. So anyway, the hospital were amazing. They really were. But I had all the meetings for home birth.
That was through the NHS, wasn't it?
Yeah. But to be honest, I actually don't think I could have had the home birth because I was what happened to me? Well, I was overdue, was I? Oh, I can't remember. No, my waters broke and I was 2 days late. That's the one. So I had to go into hospital. So I actually wouldn't been able to have a home birth anyway because I went over the amount of hours for when my waters broke.
Right. So they do tend to say that if your waters are broken, your risk for infection goes up slightly every 24 hours.
Yes. Over 48 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have been able to have it anyway. But I would have, when I was in hospital, I wish I had it.
Oh, darling. Yeah, I support women, again, who go outside of the guidance as well. So, again, there is a certain guidelines. And my job as a birth keeper is not to tell anybody what to do, what not to do, just to wholeheartedly support them throughout that whole experience, showing them studies, because sometimes it's a bit of a minefield when you start Googling. You don't know what to look at, where what the evidence is saying. So my job is to help them unpick that evidence so that they can make the decisions that are right for them and their families.
Oh, I wish I'd met you 6 months ago. I wish I met you 6 months ago. I know. Amazing. So I think what it is as well, like what people have as their birth expectations versus reality. So can you tell us anything about that or advice on women's
birthing plans and then not going to plan
and then the actual reality of it? What would you say to?
Yeah, this is the thing. I go through every client that I have. I go through a very detailed birth plan. I've got a birth plan template on my website that anyone can go on there and download. But I go through that birth plan, and I always say to women that it's very important to understand what it is you want and what you don't want. But we know that birth can be unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen in your birth, but at least if you're prepared for every moment, everything that could possibly happen, every intervention that could be offered to you, and what circumstance you would need that intervention and what perhaps you wouldn't need it. It's a bit of a fine line. That's why I always recommend to people getting a birth keeper or doula or someone that's very experienced in birth, because they can advocate for your choices as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So if they, again, there's some clients that will say, I do not want a vaginal examination. And that's their right. There are interventions there, 100% to save lives sometimes, but other interventions may or may not be necessary. So it's about putting down on the birth plan what you want, what you don't want, and then having someone by your side to advocate if you decided that you didn't want those during your labour.
Be that person to be next to that person when they go into birth, kind of person as the birth keeper.
Yeah. I mean, I do support people remotely, but I would always recommend having someone with you and your partner, because as well, it's really scary for partners.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's terrifying, especially if it's their first time, or even if it's their fifth time. If they don't know what to expect, and of course, when you go into hospital, you've got all these people in uniform. It's that hierarchy thing. You think, I mean, they do know best a lot of the time, but sometimes it's like they know best. Leave it to them. Let them just deal with it.
Because they're always on a time frame. It's like,
and you are 100% not with it when you're in that.
No, and you need an advocate, because especially when you're in active labour, you don't want to be answering questions and having conversations. That's going to affect the flow of labour anyway.
Yeah, it's true. And
I do videos about this all the time. I get really passionate about it, and I'm like,
I know.
Stop talking to people who are in labour.
I remember this midwife, and she was like, "What's your name? What's your address?" And I was like, I can't even speak right now. And I was like, I had my hands on the wall, and I was like, honestly, and she was like, "And your address?" And I was like, "Give me 1 second." I was like, "Oh,
look it up. Look at my notes."
I know, and I was like, and it was like literally, it was like a comedy sketch. She's like waiting behind me for 5 minutes for my answer. And I was like, let me just let this go. Hang on. Like halfway through a contraction, I can't even talk.
Well, and the thing is, it's even though you can't talk in certain moments, especially when things really ramp up. Yes, having your partner there to advocate for you as well, having the birthkeeper there or your doula, but yes, they do have to ask you for consent for things.
Yeah.
They can't. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, speak to the doula," but they have to kind of ask you if that's okay to do that, or if you don't want that, because we could just be speaking on behalf of them.
Yeah.
They have to get that verbal consent from you as well. So, but it's again choosing your moments. Don't talk to someone when they're right in the middle of a contraction. I've had that with doctors. I was at a birth in January, and this doctor was having a full-blown conversation with her, and I had to say, I'm always really polite, by the way. I'm never like, oi. I'm like, sorry guys, can we just wait a moment, please?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah. And then it could just reminding them, just hang on a second.
Procedure mode, don't they?
Yeah.
So I remember when I had my firstborn,
and
I had a lot. Well, I had him in hospital. I had him in St George's, but they were fantastic. However, I had an induction and I didn't want to, and I was quite inexperienced.
Right.
But they'd let me go 42 weeks, but then my waters broke and they left it 2 days. But I wasn't prepared for what that induction entailed. And I think I was doing okay just on gas and air. And then obviously, I think I'd been in labour like 12 hours. They pumped up the hormones and I felt like somebody had literally stabbed me in the stomach. And I was screaming. I mean, it was all a blur anyway. I think I just had... gas and air. Then I asked for the epidural because I was like, I cannot do that pain. And when they put it in, I don't know, it just never felt sort of right since. But it went on for ages, that labour, and I was traumatised. And then I stayed in hospital for 2 days after. But again, nothing was explained to me. It was just all put in my notes, and I was just kind of left to get on with it. Second time, I wanted to water birth. And do you know what? I didn't even know I was in labour. Same again, 42 weeks. Then when I called my mum, I was next door to my mum, I said, I think I'm in labour. And I'd felt it all night, but I just thought I was in aches and pains, like from just being pregnant. And the contractions started to come every minute. She's like, you need to get yourself to the hospital. And I was literally holding the baby in. I think my partner was like sweating out in the car. I could have pushed her out, but I was determined to get in that water birth. And they're like, oh, you can push now. And I was like, no, I want to get in. And then I was like, but what do I do? And they managed to just fill it up, got in. And I said, can I push? Yeah. And then she just came out and there was no pain.
Wow.
I mean, it stings a bit with the gas and air, but the experience was so different. And I think from having the baby the second time around, when it's your first baby, you're so inexperienced. I think what you're doing would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's just, and also exactly the same with me, 2 completely different births. Like completely
no
different.
Stitches,
and I do feel no birth is exactly the same. I think
definitely not.
Personality as well, isn't it? Because some like personalities of the children, they're like, I don't want to come out, and then
I'm going to stay in here forever.
No, and then my first was like, I'm getting out now. She was like a rocket. She was like born on the toilet, like
right, yeah.
And that was my first. So I initially thought mine was a little bit opposite to Paisley's. I thought my second was going to be exactly like it, but he did not want to come out. I was like,
so laid back now.
I was pushing for hours and hours, and I don't know what was wrong with me. I think because there was a 5-year gap, I forgot everything. I was like a beginner again, and I even forgot how to push, Louise. I was like, they were like, you need to push like you're having a poo, and I was just going. I was like doing a meditation breath, like. Breathe in through the nose.
You know what, darling? You were right. You were right.
Yeah.
You were going with your body.
Yeah.
And that's an intervention. They were telling you, you need to do this, when actually you knew what your body was telling you to do. And that's also part of my job, to tell women that, yes, especially if you've got an epidural, you do need coaching to push because you can't feel anything, right? But if you've not had any medication to numb that sensation and you feel like you want to breathe down, because your body pushes the baby. Majority of the time, the body does it on its own. So the uterus builds up so the cervix pulls up like this, right? And then the uterus gets really thick at the top. And that, at the end of your labour, is what's pushing baby down. So it's doing it by itself. That muscle builds up, all the fibres build up, build up, build up. And then the uterus goes like this and pushes the baby down. So you get what's called, it's an overwhelming urge to push. And it's called the fetal ejection reflex. It's like, it's a bit of a weird analogy, but it's, you know, that feeling when you're being sick and you can't stop.
Yeah.
That kind of like, you just can't. It's just doing it. It's not very nice likening, but it's basically like that. You can't help but just push down. But maybe in that moment for you, you felt that you just wanted to, because that was relaxing your pelvic floor muscles as well. You breathing, it's softening everything. If you're going and you're like tight, it's tightening everything down there.
Yeah.
So
I had literally the worst piles after. Oh my god.
Oh no.
I pushed so hard that I literally could not sit for
And
about 3
that
weeks.
increases your risk of tearing as well. So a lot of people, again in the hospital setting, if they're told to go on their back, which most people would be, and that makes me go, because on your back, legs up in stirrups, being coached to push all of that pressure on your perineum. So if you've got like the baby's head there, this is your perineum, and you're literally pushing with all your might onto that perineum, then that's going to increase the risk of a tear as well. So my job as well is to support women into different positions, and it's about birthing in the position that's most comfortable for you.
Yes.
Rather than being told what to do. Do you know what I mean? Told you must do that or you must do that. What instincts? You've got to follow your instincts. What do you feel?
Do you know what? My first, where she came so fast, I walked up and down for a long time.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a psychic reading, and she was like, your nan's telling you to just walk. And I did. And literally, she came out so fast, and I just did it on my all fours. I was like, they were like, how do you want to have this baby? I was like, all fours. I just want that. I wanted to do it. Second one, I wanted to do it on all my all fours as well, but they wired me up to all the machines because I'd gone over that 48 hours.
Yeah.
So they were like, this is not working. You're going to have to lie on your back and in the stirrups. And I was like, I really don't want to do this. Because it doesn't feel natural to lie down. You feel like you want to sit up and push because the gravity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, I've got a story of that actually. My husband like walked past and my nunu's like out with like a head, like, and I was like, "What are you doing? Don't look!" I was like, "Don't look!" Oh, even though the baby's going to come out, you just feel like horrible. Like, but it's but yeah, I didn't. That birth really traumatized me for quite a bit of time. This is my second, who I had in September, because I was wired up. I didn't have him the way I wanted to. I genuinely wanted a water birth as well. And actually, I feel like I would have had a really good birth if I had him as a water birth. But when I got there was no pools there. There was no pools left. So I had to have him lying down in stirrups, wired up. And I was like, this is not how I envisaged it. And for me, it genuinely did traumatize me for a bit of time. And some of my friends have had most horrendous stories of birth, like where they've gone through so much. One of my friends, she had sepsis straight after, and I think it's such a big thing. And I really wish, Louise, I'd met you before, because I would have been really strong-minded. But I just thought, I'll take one.
That's the thing. You kind of go with it because you know. And I'm not. Whenever I talk about this in my videos on my social media, and I'm really passionate about it. And it just makes me so sad because a lot of women just don't know what they don't know. Do you see what I mean? Like when you're informed, and that's one of the main messages that I'm trying to get out, is that please inform yourself as much as possible. Inform yourself about the interventions. Inform yourself about what induction entails, what the processes are, and your rights, because also a lot of women don't feel that they've got any rights.
Yeah.
And I try and stress to people that just because you've walked through those hospital doors, it does not mean that your body belongs to them.
Yeah.
Yes, they know what they're talking about, and yes, they save lives, and they are absolutely wonderful for saving lives, but it's that blanket one size fits all. You must do this, you must do that. No, you're autonomous women, and you have got rights.
That is so
It's your
true.
body and your baby, but it's not about just going in there and refusing and sending everyone to go away. That's not what it's about. It's about just understanding a bit more about what to expect when you walk into that maternity system and
I
walk
think a
into
lot of
hospital.
it as well is going with your gut instincts as a mother, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you say that a lot, Louise? To
I
people?
say it all the time. Like, so I was with a client the other day, and she was umming and ahhing about having an induction because they told her she's high risk, but again, there's a really fine line about what's actually high risk and what they perceive as high risk.
Yeah.
And again, that's really unpicking all of that data and that information can be quite difficult sometimes. But she feels instinctively that she is fine, her baby's fine. I've had other clients that have been told that their baby's small on the scan, but actually parents are small. So genetically, that baby's going to be small.
Yeah.
And everything else is absolutely fine on the scan. Nothing else is a problem. But she feels that instinctively everything is fine. Every time I speak to women, how do you feel about it? Because I think we're taught so much to rely on technology that we forget our own instincts. And these what I was going to say, that all of the scans, all of the listening into baby, all of the technology that's involved can help if there is a problem, if there is something that isn't quite right. But if we're always relying on those things, then we don't listen to ourselves.
I know.
That's
And
so true.
this actually went so much on my first, actually, because when I got there, obviously it was my first baby, it was COVID.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed anybody in there with me, so I was on my own.
Oh yeah.
And I actually felt that my nan in spirit was with me on that day. Like I felt I had her next to me. And I remember walking up and down in my room on my own. They just left me in there. And I was like, I just remember walking up and down. I was like, Nan, stay with me, stay with me. And I was talking to her because I was on my own, and I was so scared as well. And the midwife to me was like, I know you want to stay, it's your first, but you need to go home. You're gonna be here for a long time. And I think because when they saw how many centimeters were, I was quite a lot of centimeters still, and they were like, yeah, you need to go home, there's no way you're having the baby. And literally the baby came within like half an hour after that, because
Mum was like, stay there, wasn't she?
Yeah, once and my instinct was like, because I said, please, can I just see my husband for like 5 minutes? I need to see him. And they actually let him in. And thank God he was in there, because that's when I went to the toilet and I just had this urge, and I was like, I kept wanting to poo. And it was pissing down. And so I was sitting on the toilet and I was like, oh my God, I think her head's there. And this was literally in that space of half an hour where she was like, you need to go home. And I was like, I then started to get anxiety and I was panicking. I was like, I can't go home, she's going to come. I just knew, I knew my gut instinct she was going to come. And that's why I said, can I speak to my husband?
They didn't believe you though, did
they? They didn't believe me. They were like, no, your husband could come in, get your bags, and then you can go basically and come back in 12 hours. And when I saw him, I was like, she's gonna come, like I feel it, I cannot get in that car, because I knew that she was gonna come. And that was solely my gut instinct that told me. And then I said, I was on the toilet and I was like, I feel like that's her head, I think it's her head, because I felt like felt like her hair. I said to him, is that her head? And he looked down like on the toilet, and he went white. He was like It is. And I ran down the aisle to get a nurse, and they were in shock because they were like, we can't believe it. Like,
was it that you weren't dilated enough?
Yeah, I wasn't dilated enough. So actually, but when they did the sweep, you know, when they feel, it's kind of like a sweep, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
When they feel where it is, and then that must have, and it happened on my second actually. As soon as they did that to feel how many centimeters were, I was like, he's going to come soon. I feel it.
It just happened. Yeah.
And
that's the thing. This is why a lot of people don't agree with vaginal examinations, because you can be 2 centimeters 1 minute.
Yeah.
And then have a baby within an hour, like you.
Yeah. And
I don't know how many centimeters you were, but that's why it's literally a snapshot in time. They know exactly where you are right there and then you could have a baby, or you could be 2 centimeters and not give birth for another 24 hours.
Yeah,
because
and it can affect your mindset as well. It can really affect your mindset. If you've been told you're 2 centimeters and you've been labouring for a really long time, you're gonna be like, well, this is not working. My body's not working, and it can really send you on a spiral. You know.
Yeah,
you can go both ways. It's just
Didn't she say that she'd never had that before, and you were like, you need to look at your policies and go with the gut of each person individually?
They need to listen to you. This is what annoys me as well sometimes with certain individuals. They'll go, you don't need to push. Someone goes, I need to push. And then I've seen my seniors when I worked as a midwife saying, no, you can't push yet. What do you mean you can't push yet? No, you mustn't push. And then all of a sudden they're pushing and there's a baby there. And I was like, why didn't you listen to her?
Yeah.
Well, because if her cervix wasn't dilated, she can cause swelling. And that is true. If she's not dilated enough and you push on the cervix, you can cause a bit of swelling. But if you can see her actively bearing down and you're telling her, no, you don't need to push, stop pushing, it's like you're not listening to the woman in front of you, you know?
Like technology and knowledge and science going against nature and your gut, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like trying to need them to incorporate a bit more, which is like where we are in the world now.
Yeah,
really.
and I think it's so many, like, this is what we talk about so much on the pod, is like always go with your gut, because I feel like we are so out of tune within our bodies that like with everything going on in the world, I mean, like, look, social media, that makes us out of tune of our bodies straight away. Like it's this life and work life is so busy that it's very hard to stay in tune, isn't it? So I think that's a massive thing. And also when you've got so many people around you in a hospital, whatever, it's very hard to be in tune, isn't it? Like, it's
very hard. Exactly. So you've got all of these voices. Your inner voice goes away. Your inner intuition goes away because you've got that person telling you that. Like I said, with scans, you're told your baby's big, your baby's small, and, you know, yes, again, this technology is useful for detecting a real problem. But like you said, when you go into the hospital, you're told you must do this, you must do that. And then it kind of confuses you because you're, like you said, with your birth, you felt like you wanted to do something different, but you were told to do something else.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why, I mean, I would never encourage anyone to have a birth that they didn't feel comfortable with. But I always advocate for women that want to have a home birth, because at home, I feel like you're respected a lot more. So you're in your own environment. If you feel safe enough to have a home birth and you're low risk and there's no issues throughout the pregnancy, because you're in your own space, you're surrounded by your loved ones, and you haven't got a million voices telling you to do X, Y, and Z. You've got more freedom of movement.
Yeah.
You're not told, right, you need to get on your bed now. Get on your bed. Lay on the sofa.
I mean, my water birth was like that at St George. It was like it was the other end of the labour ward, and it was amazing. But it was just, I think it was just coming out of COVID, but they didn't have enough staff on afterwards, so I stayed in there for about 2 to 3 hours. Oh my god, it was amazing, so relaxing. Then they put me in the ward with the other, and there was noise, people snoring.
Oh man. And oxytocin is going to fly out the door. You need oxytocin to crack. Yeah.
I want to go home. I don't want to stay here the night. I stayed 2 nights with my son. It was different, but they were doing building work outside and drilling. Anyway, it took them till 10 o'clock at night. I think I'd had her like at 8 in the morning, 10 o'clock at night to discharge me. And I thought if I'd known it taken that long, I would have stayed overnight. Then I went home and my son had an infection, or he was ill, and I was like, so I'd just given birth, come home, and I was like, whoa, I'm now dealing with a sick child. And this is what I was going to say to you, like, what emotional changes do you think women go through after having a baby that no one talks about? It's like the fourth trimester, isn't it?
I feel like the postpartum's not really talked about enough.
No, it really isn't. And do you know what? I've been making some documents actually to put into my Google Drive. So every client I get, I give them access to my Google Drive with so much information in there. And I've started working on documents because I've been doing a few postnatal jobs recently, and there's been a few people that have said, like, it's those first few weeks is like an absolute whirlwind.
Yeah.
You're in the trenches.
You feel like you're in the trenches. Exactly that. She said to me, I feel like I'm in the trenches, because you, especially if the first time round, you feel that maybe you're doing something wrong or you're not doing enough. And I think it's down to the fact that you're learning on the job, you know, and you're not, you just need to be kind to yourself. That's the main message about postnatal. Just be kind to yourself, because you're doing the best job you possibly can with the knowledge that you've got. And, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, did I do that right? Should I be doing this right? Should I be doing this differently? But I think people need to get extra support as well, because if you feel like you're doing everything alone, you shouldn't be trying to manage absolutely everything yourself. And that's when you get burnout. That's when you get those feelings of, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough for my baby. And I think sleep deprivation has a massive part of it as well.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still in this sleep deprivation.
Really?
I've talked about it quite a lot, but I had the fight or flight mode for a long time, having dreams of me dying, the baby I was trying to, and I was having dreams of my children. I'm trying to save them up from like drowning in water. It was so horrible. And I'd wake up like sweating, like this is literally after birth, like, and I had it for quite a few months actually. And I said to my husband, I said, I just feel like so low, like I can't even explain
Your hormones
it.
drop, don't they?
Yeah.
But that's what it is as well. It's the hormones. So there's a massive drop in progesterone and estrogen. And it's like that crash, sleep deprivation, trying to manage everything yourself. All of those factors can make you feel really low. And that's why I always say to people, delegate, get your partner to help you if you are having visitors, because you don't have to have visitors, by the way. A lot of people think that they've got to have someone round. I had a home birth with my fifth baby, right? I had 3 home births, but my last one was a home birth, and I'd arranged a party that day.
Oh my God.
I'd arranged it for months, right? But I just thought, oh, do you know what? Don't worry about it. I've just given birth a few hours before. I still have my whole family round the same day.
Oh my God.
What was I thinking? I was like, I'm all right. It's my fifth baby. I know what I'm doing.
Posting, you know that, like, is it?
Yeah. I was on a high. I was like, yeah, everyone can come round. I had about 30 people in my house.
No.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Was it good, or did you like think after, oh my God?
Well, after about 2 hours, I was like, can you just get out now? You're getting on my nerves. I'm tired. No, I didn't really say that. I'm joking. But no, I was, by the end of the day, I was like, oh my gosh, why did I do that?
I know.
It is. I feel like it's that oxytocin, isn't it?
As well. And I think I've made decisions when I was pregnant or just had the baby. I don't think you should make any financial or business decisions when you've just had a baby.
No. Oh my God. Mistakes I started making.
Yeah, and I don't know where my head was at. Like you, it's like everything was like, yeah. And then, I just made mistakes. But if there was one message you wanted to give, like, new mothers, what would it be?
I would always say to women, be kind to yourself. Like I said before, you have to literally take a step back and realise what an amazing job you're doing. You've literally given birth to a human being, and you have to literally just take each day as it comes and be kind. That's what, 2 words, 3 words: be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Stop being so hard on yourself.
Yeah, that is so true.
That's what we are. We literally constantly are berating ourselves and doubting ourselves. And it comes back to that intuition again.
Yeah.
Follow your instincts and your intuition.
And have those slow moments and the slow. I remember Mum said to me, you know, if you're breastfeeding, try not to be active all the time, because your milk flow does help to come through. If you're a bit lazier, don't feel guilty about it. Like, try and get your partner to help cook. Or Mum was amazing. She did loads of cooking for me because I was staying at Mum's at the time for the first 6 weeks. But I mean, do your services go on to the postnatal afterwards, or does your job finish once they've had the baby?
No. So I provide postnatal support both remotely and in person. And for all of my clients, actually, I support them for 6 weeks after. So remotely, if they want to just chat over something, or they're just not sure about something, or they want some breastfeeding support, I'm available to them for 6 weeks after. Because I feel like women sometimes they do need that emotional support, because emotionally, for a lot of women, they're all over the place.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I feel like, so I'm coming up to 6 months. He'll be 6 months next week. But what I've noticed now is I've been just solely breastfeeding. However, like, my hair's started to fall out. I've started to feel like my immune system is really low. I've ordered every single vitamin you can think of, like anything to build myself up. I'm having celery juice. I'm really, really trying, because I said to Paisley, I really don't want to go on antibiotics. Like, I really don't. But yes, go on, because I wanted to ask a bit of advice on this to you.
Okay, so nutrition is really, really important, particularly the first few months after you've had a baby, because your body's repairing from the birth, essentially. So I always recommend a few things that people can have increased in their diet, such as protein. So you need a lot of protein to build yourself back up. I always recommend bone broths. So have you ever heard of bone broths?
Yep.
And bone broths, they're really sort of easy to digest. They're hydrating. They've got lots of protein in them. I always recommend collagen as well, because collagen is really good for tissue repair. Skin recovery, hair as well. You mentioned hair. It just kind of builds everything back up, because during pregnancy takes a lot out of you. So nutritionally, I say all these things to women during pregnancy as well, because you need to increase that protein, that collagen, in pregnancy, but also after, at least for the first 6 months.
I felt like I'd aged 10 years.
I felt like last month I was like, getting back to myself. And then my immune system is just, well, actually, he was ill and just didn't stop feeding for days on end. And he's now got into a routine of being on me all night, and I'm like, I feel like I'm being sucked dry, basically.
Oh gosh.
So he loves the boob. He's like on it all the time.
Booby monster.
He is a booby monster. At the same time, I feel like I'm getting a little bit weaker and weaker and weaker, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm literally dying here.
You have no eyelashes tomorrow.
I know.
Get yourself some collagen powder.
I've just got some, actually.
Oh, you have? Perfect.
Yeah, I've only just ordered it last week. So
right, wicked. So yeah, get some bone broths on the boil. Yes, get people to help you, if obviously if you're really busy and you've got a lot going on. Get people to help you make soups, make bone broths, add the collagen in, increase your protein, particularly if you're breastfeeding, and stay hydrated. You need to drink lots of water.
Look, this is me right now. I've got this humongous bottle.
Yes.
And I go through 2 of them a day, because he's drinking
so much.
You
ice in. You had an ice thing.
Yeah, I've got some ice in it.
And when you're feeding, have it all beside you. Have a little table next to you, whether you're on the sofa or on your beds or whatever. Have everything to hand so that you can stay hydrated. Have snacks there.
I think actually that is one thing when you're breastfeeding, you really, really need to stay hydrated to keep that milk flow, don't you?
Yeah.
I've been ravenous in the beginning, but I think your body does. I mean,
I just wanted a Domino's after I gave birth. I was like, give me pizza, give me carbs. I really wanted carbs because your energy's so low, isn't it?
Yeah. You needed that sort of quick, quick energy boost.
Yeah, actually, a Lucozade was the only thing that got him out in the end because I was like, I do not have any energy to push. So I had this Lucozade and I was like,
I don't know what I got. I think Errol he felt really faint, so he walked out, and I was like, "Oh God, that's that then." Come back with a sandwich or something crap.
Oh.
I tell women to make electrolyte drinks. During labour, like coconut water is really good for electrolytes.
Yes.
Even like pink Himalayan salt in water, because then, or actually Celtic salt is probably the best because it's got loads of minerals in it.
Okay. Wow! So just have that before you give, or take it.
We'll just have like one of them bottles and then make it up, and then they can just sip it throughout. I mean, Lucasade's good. And energy drinks are good. Like sometimes they've got like loads of sugar in, and it gives you that. Yeah, it might give you that. But it's But I think
actually it's better.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can have like a mixture. You could have a sugary drink and have electrolyte drink as well. But putting those electrolytes back in because it takes it out of you during labour.
You're exhausted, aren't you?
Yeah, you're doing a hell of a lot of work.
Don't properly heal until the baby's 5. Like I just feel like I'm getting my identity back now.
Yeah,
it takes a long time for your body to heal, doesn't it?
What is the healing process? How many months?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's very, very different, and some people will feel like they're kind of getting back to normal within the first year.
Yeah,
but some might take a bit longer. So I wouldn't say that that's definitely the time frame of how you're going to be feeling like yourself again. My daughter's 26 and I'm still not.
I know. I think girls,
I've got 5 kids. I've got teenagers in between that, and my youngest is 10. But I think that's probably why, because I've just kept on going.
Yeah. You're amazing. And one more question I actually wanted to ask: is baby brain real? Because I don't know. I feel like I've got it.
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
What actually is it?
So it's basically, again, it's the drop in the hormones. It's your brain actually changes during pregnancy. So you forget things because it's all hormonal. It's nothing to do with the fact that you've just got a baby brain and, you've got a lot to think about as well. It's the hormones. It's your brain. You're thinking about 1,001 things all in one go. And but it's mostly hormones.
Oh gosh, I suppose like in menopause as well, it comes down to your hormones as well.
Oh yeah, because it's mood swings. You get that when you've had a baby as well. Mood swings. You have that with the menopause, because it's all an imbalance of the hormones, which is why nutrition is important. So I'd even say for someone who's in, premenopausal, menopausal, nutrition, it all comes down to nutrition.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
so nutrition resonates with us. And I think, Louise, thank you so much for joining us, because I think this conversation that we've had today will resonate with so many women out there. And especially when they feel overwhelmed, like if they've not given birth before or what to expect afterwards.
Yeah.
Where could people find you? What's your Instagram and socials if they want to get in touch?
So my Instagram is Lucina Birthkeeping. It's Loucina, so Lucina Birthkeeping. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on TikTok. My website is lucinabirthkeeping.co.uk, and you can find all of my services on there, from prenatal to labour and birth to postnatal as well. I offer in-person support. I'm from South London, but I offer...
Not where, Croydon, or like we were from Croydon?
Oh, I'm in Croydon. That's where I'm from. Yeah, Croydon girl.
Whenever we say we're from Croydon, we always say...
That is mental.
Every time everybody says they're from Croydon, we're like, did you go to Tiger Tiger?
Yeah, I went to Tiger Tiger. Blue Orchids.
Yeah, we probably crossed paths many a time.
So I'm from Croydon, South London, but I travel all over London. I've even had clients in Kent. I've had clients just on the other side of East London, sort of just into Essex. I travel up to about an hour and a half.
Okay.
But I think, Louise, as well, if you do obviously mobile stuff, you know, like on Zoom and stuff, because we have listeners literally in America, Canada, so you know, worldwide. I think, you know, you do offer your services like
remotely. Yeah. So I've got on my website, I've got a remote package.
Yeah.
And it's half the price of my in-person. So if you wanted, if wherever you are in the world or in the UK or wherever, then I can support you. And that would entail loads of video calls and the same support, but just not in person.
I can't believe you're Freudian. That's so
I
weird.
can't believe it. And
Literally.
we just did this whole podcast and we didn't know you were from
I thought you were
Croydon.
like miles away. Anyway, that must have been my gut instinct.
We might be in the next street. You never know.
Right? See you soon.
You never know.
Thank you.
And so amazing.
If you're listening to this episode and it's helped you, please can you share it with other mums who might need it? Please follow us, subscribe to us on Spotify, Burnt Out Mamas, one word. We're spreading the word.
And we're also on Apple as well.
On all of the podcast channels. Thank you, Louise.
Yeah, thank
for
you
accepting
so
our offer.
much.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm just going to finish off with I wish I met you 6 months ago.
No, right?
Oh, thank you.
I needed a
7 years
pocket,
ago.
Louise. I needed a pocket,
You
Louise.
leave me in your pocket, little pocket Lou.
No, pocket Lou. I love that. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate
I hope you feel
it.
better today. I know you've pushed through today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Louise.
See ya.
Bye.
If you're loving the show, don't forget to download our latest episodes. It helps us a ton by boosting the show and making sure more people find us.
Plus, you can listen anytime, anywhere, even offline.
While you're at it, make sure to follow us on Spotify so you never miss a new drop.
Want even more behind the scenes content? Follow us on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok at Burnt Out Mamas, one word, for exclusive clips, updates and fun extras.
Hit that follow button, send us a message and let's keep the Burnt Out Mamas community going.